In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Two Buck Sports Show. It's Thursday, and I'm back.
Bro, can I just say this? I want everybody to know listen, I love Drew, and I am so happy for him and his wife. They have a new baby at the house. I did not force Drew to be on the show today. I just want everybody to know that Drew willingly came back. I'm not gonna turn him down. He's the man. But I am so stunned that you're here today, bro.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I have you are an owner. Rusty's a co-owner. I don't know who else is up there. I don't listen to anybody.
No, you don't.
I'm just going to be here when I'm here.
You don't.
I'm going to do the best that I can at all times in anything that I do. And I've missed out on a lot. I've missed out on a lot this week. This was a bad time to have a baby.
Yeah.
For being just completely honest. And I had to get here to talk about it. And listen,
I know it's been burning a hole in your chest, bro. You've been wanting to get some stuff out.
Yeah, I got written permission signed and dated by my wife.
I need it notarized because I cannot be held responsible for anything that happens in the Gann household with you coming and doing this show today. I can't do it, man. I can't.
Oh, no, trust me. Nobody gets blamed. No, nobody gets blamed outside of this side of the screen here if anything goes wrong. And trust me, if baby Josie wakes up, she starts screaming, you may just have to do it by yourself. Because again, I love this show and I love all you guys, but it's not worth a divorce.
No,
so I will run.
You like being married more is what you're trying to say.
I do. I have a good wife, an amazing woman, and I will not jeopardize that for this show or Ja Morant.
King Meek said, my favorite cousin. Welcome back, baby.
What up, King Meeks? I've missed you. I've watched the show with my wife, especially yesterday with Wayno and Kenny holding down the fort for the first ever $0 show.
It felt weird. It didn't feel right. I'll be honest with you. And
I watched it in the car ride home from Tupelo, Mississippi to Ripley, where we live, with our new baby in tow. And it's kind of giving the lowdown to Haley for all the commenters out there. It's like, oh, there's King Meeks. And then King Meeks even replied on my Facebook post, introducing the new baby. She's like, somebody named Dwayne Meeks comment on this. And I was like, it's King Meeks. He's in the chat.
That's the King, baby.
Yeah. So it's been a wild week.
St. Jude Man of the Year, King Meeks.
St. Jude Man of the Year. All right, listen, that is royalty That's royalty
in the chat.
And he's my Facebook friend.
Yes.
So it's a crazy week. We were not expecting to have a baby this early. We had tonight, Thursday night, circled as the due date is tomorrow. And if we couldn't make it any longer, and this has happened with our 2 previous births, is that my wife just couldn't make it any longer, and we induced and started the process, and it was a long, arduous process in the past, and we're like, we'll do it again because she's swelled up, feet's hurting, can't walk well. You know how it gets when your wife gets to the miserable portion of pregnancy, where the only cure is a baby in your arms, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess the Lord had know what he's doing after all, because about 12:30 Sunday night, she goes to climb in the bed because she pees all the time. And, you know, we're short people, so she threw her leg up on the bed, and right then she was like, uh-oh. And like, I'm leaking. And then I was like, okay, well, let's just go give it a minute and see if, let's be sure before we get out of bed at 12:30 a.m. Call the neighbor over to sleep with the kids and head off to Tupelo for nothing. And so she's like, I'm going to go try to pee again. And I was like, okay, whatever. She crawls back, does the same motion again. And it was, at that point, undeniable. We were like, okay, let's pack a bag, keep our wits about us, and go have a baby. And not even 12 hours later, we had a baby. So
Can I tell you a story real quick?
Please.
That I'll make it super fast because you know me, I can be long-winded.
No.
Our second child, Silas. Selah was 1.5 years, maybe 2 years old. Silas was about 2 or 3 days from being. Tracy had to have a planned cesarean.
Oh wow!
An emergency cesarean for Selah and a planned cesarean for Silas. I know
how that goes.
Our appointment was at Germantown Methodist at 7:30 in the morning. The next morning, I went to bed. She went to bed. The night before, we had our bags packed. We were ready to go. Selah was asleep in the bed. Tracy was super pregnant. She had just recovered from being super pregnant and having a crazy stomach virus. Like,
oh yeah, that's awful. We dealt with that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Horrible. Anyway, so I'm in bed, I'm asleep, and I get woken up. Tracy's waking me, and she goes, I think we need to go to the hospital. And I was like, in my sleepy stupor, what do you think? I'll give you 2 options. Do you think I jumped out of bed with my Superman cape and said, let's go?
Of course not.
I said,
she'll still be there in the morning.
Nah. I was like, babe, roll over. You'll be all right. We're going in the morning anyway.
Oh, jeez.
I'm back asleep. She about an hour later wakes me up again, fully clothed, fully makeup, fully everything. She's like, I think we need to go to the hospital. Nah, we're good. We're good. Lay back down and let's see. And then she started to cry, and she goes, I'll drive myself to the hospital.
Oh, you failure as a father and a husband. You are a failure. I hope there's been nothing that's made you feel worse than what you felt in that moment there. Like, well, and I am very guilty of being short and terse and just rude and blunt when I'm first woken up. Like, I've got to really, a new baby coming in the house, I'm really conscious. I'm like having to watch myself because when she wakes me up and says it's your turn, sometimes I don't respond well. And so I sympathize with you. Yeah. Buddy, you just got to go to the hospital and pray that the baby's coming. And then if it's not, you just keep your mouth shut when you drive back.
By the time I got out of the bed, she had already called my mom. My mom and dad live like half a mile from our house. They were on call, ready to come and stay with Selah while we were at the hospital. So I get dressed. I'm like, no, I'll take you to the hospital. I'll go. I get up, I get dressed, put my hat on, do all my stuff. I'm walking on the stairs, and my mom is walking up the stairs in my house.
And she's ready to swing.
Brother, she looked at me. as soon as she opened her mouth and the words that came out of her mouth, I was like, instantly was like, oh, I've really messed up.
Oh yeah.
Like I have
Yeah.
really
Like, I'm sorry, you're not late for an appointment this time. You are having a kid.
yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That was 11 years ago. And I still,
Yeah.
that still gets brought up. And
Of course.
and listen, all I can say is when it gets brought up is don't bring up, I don't say that, don't bring up the past. I say, you're right, man.
No, you've got to eat it. You've got to eat it for eternity.
This is a eating it for eternity. It is a meal I'm going to take for the rest of my life, bro. So.
Yeah. I could not be happier with the turnout. The delivery process was the easiest one that we've done. Not that it's ever easy.
Right.
She may be upstairs listening right now. So
she's like, hey, screw you, bro.
Yeah. Not that it was easy, but compared to the first two, it was a walk in the park. And that is just telling you how bad the first two were. And almost to the point where like I'm a little nervous that she's like, why can't we have another one? And I'm like, no, good Lord, no.
Oh, no.
So we came home yesterday, had a first night at the house last night. My mom stayed one night with our kids in our home. My mother-in-law stayed the next night. It worked out perfectly. Neighbors stepped up for us. We got a good community here in Ripley that have really taken care of us when we've been down. So I'm going to take off work today and tomorrow, just the rest of the week, stay with the new baby and try to find some normalcy with all the other kids as well, and the work week starts back on Monday. Yeah. So I have another funny baby raising story I want to tell you, but I don't want to like. Please. Please.
Are we good?
Yeah,
okay.
Please.
Dude, the Carter said it perfectly. That the eternal trump card, 100%. Yeah. There is no.
I broke up with Haley one time when we were dating, and she still brings that up when we get in a fight. I'm like, but baby, I married you. I gave you a ring after that. Like,
yeah.
I grew up. This shouldn't. You shouldn't bring this up anymore.
That breakup was not on
Tracy.
Her. It was on you.
Tracy needs to bring that up all the time.
Yeah, no, 100%. Kip wants to know, no paternity leave? Dads get 12 weeks these days.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people think, and it's true. At my work, I can get 4 or 6. I don't know what it is, but you got to use your own time. Like, all it is, it's like, we won't fire you if you take however many weeks. You still got to take your own time. And listen, I've got plenty of vacation time. I could take a month if I wanted to take a month, but I just need to get back to work. Yeah. You save that for tragedy kind of stuff, and like you don't like planning for that kind of stuff. But like I need a, I treat my, because I can roll over 100% of my unused sick time. It's a savings account basically, and that's what I use it as. Like, but if I hope I never have to use this, but if I need it, I keep it over there.
You got it on deck, and if you ever quit, you can get that all reimbursed. Hopefully,
right? You just get a check.
Get a check for it. So. I remember that you have plenty of kids. I have 2 kids. After Silas was born, I was so desperate to not do this again, and Tracy was so desperate to. We got started a little bit later than you guys. We got started at 31, right? So our first kid was born at 31, 32 years old, and so
mine was at almost 30, biological kid.
Okay. Yeah. So, we immediately after Silas was born, we scheduled a vasectomy appointment for myself just to be done with it. And I just remember it wasn't the deliveries, even though Selah's delivery was pretty scary. It was an emergency. Yeah. Selah just would not come out. Yeah. Like she would not. And so it got to the point where it was like either we need to do this now or this could get really, really bad very quickly. And so we were like, wrap it up. Let's go. Yeah. And 5 minutes later, we had a baby. So it was pretty cool. But I remember the deliveries were scary, but the part that was the hardest for me was when the sun started to go down at night, when the baby's at home.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, oh my God. Like during the day, you have people over at the house and they're helping and things like that. But when it's just the 2 of you and the newborn and it is like night times are just like, there's nothing more desperate feeling than those 2 a.m., 3 a.m., like crying sessions where you're exhausted and they're just freaking out for no good reason. And I had a friend tell me, you need to try this. Try this at night. Babies want to they want to feel like they're back in their mother's womb.
Right.
That's why you swaddle, right? Because that tightness feels like, they said, try this. Swaddle Selah, and then take a hair dryer and just lightly blow the hair dryer warm air over the baby, just back and forth, back and forth. And there's the white noise. It's the heat, the warmth, and the swaddling. I thought you were
going to say, and put it in her crib.
Yeah. Hold. So I was trying to be like super dad, right? Yeah. Like put the baby's baby bed next to my side of the bed at night. Like when the baby cries, I'll get up and we'll do that kind of stuff. And so I had the hair dryer next to my side of the bed. She was swaddled in the bed. As soon as she started to cry, she, number one, got changed, got fed.
Right.
And then we put her back and she's still crying. So I'm like, let me try this hair dryer. So I'm sitting on the side of the bed next to Selah. And I'm like, with this hair dryer. And bro, let me tell you something. It works like a
really.
Oh my God.
We did this thing, and this is way in the weeds. We're going to get to Ja Morant in a minute. And the Grizzlies play basketball in like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We did this. We took this online class. Somebody talked about it. It's like just basically how to sleep train your baby. And they said that a lot, like recreate the womb.
Yeah.
Swaddle them tight. Rock them, steady, subtle motions. White noise is really good, and so that's what we've always done. But like, listen, when they're days old, like it doesn't matter, man. Like it doesn't matter. You can sleep train later. Like you just got to do it. And when last night was kind of rough on Haley, the first night she was born was rough on both of us. Because Haley is breastfeeding, and so like there's not anything I can do other than just be there beside her and be like, "You need anything?" And so we can get through it. We sleep trained our other kids pretty easily and be all right.
Let me finish the story with the hair dryer.
Oh gosh, yes. I'm terrified, by the way.
And it worked like a charm until I fell asleep sitting on the side of the bed for like 30 minutes.
Oh, she came up with an afro.
Tracy. Next thing I know, I'm getting smacked in the back of the head, and she's Selah's wah, because she was sweating, skin red from the heat.
Oh, jeez, Kenny,
you are roasting our daughter alive.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So mind you, the hair dryer works. Just don't fall asleep. Gentlemen, don't fall asleep.
Yes. I thought it went without saying, but maybe not. Maybe that's not the case. Listen, we go baby stories for days. And maybe there's a time for that.
Well, shout out to you, man. I'm happy for you guys, man. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
I can't think of anything this world needs more than more Gans in this world. I mean, honestly.
Listen, we make beautiful kids. This baby girl is no different. She's going to be the one that takes care of me, hopefully, when I'm old and
she's gonna be
older and crippled her. So, all right, let's move on. We've got some drama that's been addressed. I feel like I need to address it a little bit. You can fill me in and get my takes. I don't know how you want to handle this, but we're going to do our Memphis Grizzlies segment. We're going to talk about Ja Morant, all the shenanigans that happened yesterday.
Oh, I lost Drew. I think he hit a button. He'll be back in a second. Yeah, we're gonna talk. I'm ready to get Drew's opinion on this. I have a feeling I kind of know what his opinion is based on the way that he handled all of last year with Taylor Jenkins. I kind of feel like I know what your opinion is going to be.
All right, frame that from the top in a question.
Yeah.
Where we
you have been. Hold on, before we do that. I will not be accused of not getting y'all's bumper videos done the right way.
Listen,
all right?
this is so left-footed and disjointed. It's like I haven't been here in a week. So just bear with us, okay? All
right. Here's my question
Yeah.
for you, Drew. All of last year, you were like quite literally the only person on this entire network, as everybody was flaming down on Taylor Jenkins and the coaching job that he did and everything that went down. You were like, bro, he's not on the court. He's not a basketball player. I blame Ja. I blame a lot of this goes towards Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. All right. People now that with all of these reports that are coming out, with everything, with all the stuff that even happened yesterday, I think all of this, the really kind of the nexus event for this season has been that October 31st Friday night game against the Lakers,
right?
Where not only did he quit during the second half on national TV, but then came out, brought a locker room conversation between him and Tomas Isolo, brought it to the public, got suspended. It has felt like this thing has been going downhill since. So I guess my question is where do you stand on this? Like, are you one of the guys that's like, are you still holding strong on this idea that this is all on Ja, or is there a part of it that's like, this is also on Tomas Isolo, also on Zach Kleiman, also on the Grizzlies organization as a whole?
Listen, I think that if Ja Morant was a grown-up, we wouldn't be in this situation. Yes, as a human, I can look back at all of the different things that have happened since that 21-22 season in which we were awesome. We went and won a playoff series. We got beat in the second round, but it's like, okay, we've finally starting to arrive. And then what happens? And it's the next year is weird. Then you trade Dylan Brooks, or you let Dylan Brooks walk, and that's his best friend. And you don't replace him with anybody good. And then you let Desmond walk, and Steven Adams walk, and Kyle Anderson walk. And as a person, Ja Morant looks around, and I can get why he's just like, buddy, what are you doing? Like, why? I just want to run this back with my friends, whatever. And I understand the disgust that he has when they bring in the system that is now at Miami, oddly enough, that does not feature him exclusively as the primary table setter for an offense, does not have him as a high usage player, and he's being used as a decoy, and I understand the frustration about that. And then they fire Taylor Jenkins, they bring in Tomas Isolo, and his offense uses him as his decoy role as well, and his minutes are down, and all this other kind of stuff is he's not getting the run that he wants to. And like, all in all, I can see the gripe. However, and this is where I landed last year, and this is where I land this year, and it seems like this is where I will just stay, and I will say that it defines the legacy of Ja Morant, is that he's not willing to play as a part of a team and be accountable, be dependable, and just be a part of a team. He's always it's a petulant child's behavior. And any other he can say that no other superstar has to deal with this, but at the same time, you look around and there have been every team that's ever had success, even with superstars, they have to play together. There is a yin and a yang, a give and a take with everything. And for 3 years now, he's refused to give, and it's been all take. And as a response, he has taken his ball and gone home. And that is sad. It's immature. It is a black eye to him, and I feel like that's putting it lightly. I would have done things differently if I were Zach Kleiman. I would have done things differently if I was Taylor Jenkins. But at the same time, like, you never expect a superstar like this to just quite literally pack his things and leave when he gets mad. I would have handled everything differently, but you've just got to be accountable. You've got to be available and accountable, and he just routinely is not. And we're talking about going into every season like, oh, what could this team do? What could this team do? How can this team be different? In the offseason, hope springs eternal. You trade Desmond Bane, but you get back a two-time NBA champion to bring some culture, and you've got Cedric Coward, who's bright and shiny new toy that you think is going to be your future. And we're talking about like, oh, this team can be awesome. This team could be this. Never one time does anybody just think that your star player is going to quit on a team. Yeah. And it's sad. It's sad. I defended Taylor Jenkins to the nth degree last year, and it had nothing to do with like the play of Ja Morant, but that he was just, to me, we don't have insider information here. I do this podcast from North Mississippi. I don't go to all the games. I'm not in the press conference. I don't talk to sources. But even me watching it on my couch in North Mississippi can tell like he's probably fine and he's just choosing not to play. And then you get into what happened with the Vince Williams thing, and it was just like, but it's just snowballed, and it's snowballed, and we're going to look back at this. He's going to get traded. Memphis is going to hate him. He's going to have a Kevin Durant-like return to Memphis this season, more than likely. And he's going to look around when that happens, and he's going to be like, what have I done?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I know you've been kind of out of commission for the last week, but I think even this idea, you mentioned a few minutes ago that you could understand why Ja would be upset not being the focal point, not being the focal piece of an offense, things like that. Availability plays a huge role in that, wouldn't you say?
Course.
I mean,
of
Anthony said it on his show. He gave a stat on his show this week. I don't know if you've seen it or not. But there are two players outside of the Memphis Grizzlies in the NBA that if you were to go, okay, who is Mr. Glass, right? Like who are the guys that just don't play games? It'd be Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson are two guys who constantly are getting hurt. The numbers are shocking, bro. Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson have doubled Ja's games played in 3 years.
Yeah.
And
of course, the 22-23 season, I think it was, is the one that he only played 9 games. I got a shoulder injury, and fluky stuff happens. Like, I get it.
It happens.
But the thing is like, you've got to be available. And that was probably, if we're being honest, and we're looking at this with revisionist history, and I'm trying to make a case as to why in the world Taylor Jenkins, or rather, went and undercut Taylor's whole staff and brought in this new thing with what's his name? I'm blanking on his name from Miami now.
Noah LaRoche.
They brought in on him. It's probably a lot because you couldn't depend on. You've got to make the most out of everybody else in a salary cap league with the aprons and stuff. Like you can't have 3 superstars making superstar money. So you've got Ja, and you chose to ride with him and Jaren, and you've got to get the most out of everybody else. And so I listen, I think there's a lot of this is defensible, and it's just not worked out. Like, you need all parties to just kind of be on board, and it just has not worked out. Ja's not been available, and the most critical I've been of Ja is when he is available, the team's worse because he's not bought in. He's not trying. He's just quiet quitting, as Rusty brings up. Like, it's just it's a disgusting look. And listen, I'm at the point now, like I'm out. I'm totally out. Everybody's out, except for a few people that are holding on and blaming Zach
that are Ja Morant fans and not Memphis Grizzlies fans.
And I get it, but like, I'm so far out on this now. Like, he's going to be traded. I would just sit there. I'd hold him, and because he's tanked his own trade value to where, like, what are you? This is Ja Morant, a superstar. You are not going to get what you deserve for a Ja Morant trade piece. When he goes to Miami, he's going to be amazing. He's going to make all Memphis look like they were scorn lovers. We're going to be like, oh, why didn't you do that with us? Why didn't you do that with us? And the whole world is going to be like, oh, Ja's awesome. Memphis screwed up. And we're going to be like, well, no, he's an idiot. And so I would just be like, I'm holding you for trade value. And so here's what we're going to do. You're going to play and be awesome and buy in, boost your trade value, and then we'll trade you when we get a deal that we like. Or you can just continue to cost yourself a lot of money. And in 2 years, if you choose not to play, you can sign a contract worth $10 million a year for all I care.
I don't know if that's even possible though. Like I just don't know, like because the Grizzlies are still on tap for 2 years for his contract that he has.
I
right
know.
now. And
So,
it's like,
but that's what I'm like. It's a hard ball stance for sure for Zach Kleiman to make. But it's like, what am I going to do? Have you seen the? I mean, and I know this is all speculation, but like, we're going to get back no picks and Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez. That's what we're getting for Ja Morant. Pass. Like I would just hope. I would say, Ja Morant, here's what you're going to do. You're going to get healthy, play basketball at a high level, and go to church 3 times a month. And we will trade you whenever you turn your attitude around and make your trade value something that's respectable. Somebody who's been a 2-time All-NBA, 2-time All-Star, amazing basketball player. Because what you are now is it's hurting us, and it's not going to hurt you because some team is going to trade for you, and you're going to be like, oh, I've seen the light now. The problem was Memphis, and you're going to play basketball and be amazing, and we're going to have in return nothing going forward.
I think that's the problem though. Is I think you could make that hardball stance, but then they go to Germany on a global stage these past few days. And there has been nothing but negative attention around Ja's involvement there. I'm surprised he was even. Let me ask you this. Do you think that the Grizzlies took him on that trip to play him?
No. Well, not necessarily. I mean, I think he was going to play on this trip. I think he took the trip because he's on the team. I mean, Ty Jerome's went. Zach Edey went, right? Is Zach Edey in Memphis right now or is he in Germany? He has no shot of playing. Same with Scottie Pippen Jr.
Probably not. He hasn't been on many road trips lately, Zach Edey, so he might not be there.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
I'm going to say on a trip to Germany, Zach Edey's there because that's a big perk.
It's an experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet Brandon Clark's there. I bet Scottie Pippen Jr.'s there. And if anybody has seen that they're at home, then you can let me know, and I'll backtrack this theory that I'm working on here. But I think that Ja Morant went to Germany because the Memphis Grizzlies are in Germany. Whether he was going to play or whether he wasn't going to play. But I do believe that the thought was that he was going to play. I do believe that was the assumption, and I do think that changed when the press conference happened and / Vince Williams Jr. happened.
Totally agree.
I do think that's when he was called out. I do believe that.
I firmly agree with that because I just think there's an expectation that you go on a global stage. The NBA is putting a lot of resources behind these 2 games in Berlin and London. Nike's there with him. I think there was an expectation that he would have an involvement in the forward-facing involvement.
Yes,
in what this looked like, right?
Listen, you remember what he did this summer, okay? He went to China. He went to
Thailand.
Japan, the Philippines. He went on a world tour, and it was like he was the freaking Beatles.
Yes.
Like, yes, the NBA wants him to be in Berlin and in London. Like, there's no doubt about it. And the Grizzlies, who I believe mine last week was made up that they were trading him, they need him to play to show that he's awesome and healthy.
Yeah.
Like, nothing would make Zach Kleiman happier than for Ja Morant to drop 40 in Germany and then drop 40 in London, go 2-0 against the Magic, and then get an extra first-round pick out of it because of it. Like, that's what we want. A ghost suspension and not playing at all and being videoed feuding with a teammate who nobody has ever heard 3 words out of in his whole NBA career. Nobody has ever heard Vince Williams say a word, and we've got a video of him and Ja chirping at each other and motioning as to go. Let's go outside. That's speculation, but
you can read the videos are popping out. People are slowing that footage down and reading lips. Ja's basically saying, "I don't F with y'all."
Right.
Like,
and
that, I just because here's the thing, and Carter brings it up, and I think it's a great point. The problem is with that, the hardball stance you're talking about of how you would respond to Ja, putting him on the court to play with the Grizzlies to boost his trade value is there is clearly, and we've seen it on a global stage, a level of toxicity right now that could severely damage some of the young guys on this team. I'll be frank with you. I really think one of the things that has hindered G.G. Jackson's development is his closeness with Ja Morant over these last few years.
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder if the Grizzlies are saying basically, and even with them pulling him out of the Berlin game, if they're basically saying the damage, we wanted to bring you on this trip because you are the face of this organization globally to an NBA audience. You are that guy. You have the money behind you. You have the Nike campaigns behind you. The NBA puts you on their banner for this game. They promoted you, right? But the level in their brain, they're having to think to themselves, like, having him around right now, even on this global stage, could absolutely do damage to the young core of guys that they have on this team that they think are going to be the future moving forward.
Me and my wife last night were watching the end of the what was that, Denver, and who did Denver play last night?
I didn't watch any games last night. I was watching the Tigers play.
Anyways, it was the late game on ESPN. I'm blanking. Yeah. Denver won. And it's bothering me, but I'm going to move on.
I'm going to look. I got you.
And anyways, it came right into Sports Center. They were recapping. They were doing all this other kind of stuff.
They played the Mavericks. They played the Mavericks.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they brought on Kendrick Perkins. They were talking about the Anthony Davis thing. And while they were talking about Anthony Davis, I was just telling my wife why I don't like Kendrick Perkins. Like, I just never liked him. Didn't like him as a player. I think he's a shock jock. I want to be shock jock who's not very good at it. And I don't trust his opinion. And then they started talking about Ja Morant, and I found myself agreeing with Kendrick Perkins. I was like, and he said, like, they should have traded him in the offseason. We all knew what was going on here, this, that, and the other. They've waited too late, and that's the Grizzlies are a little bit of at fault, the Grizzlies being the front office, because they waited too long, and it's gotten to this point when it was never going to get fixed anyways. And I was like, okay, probably a little bit of revisionist history to that, but it probably adds up. But what he said that I clocked, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. I'd like to dive into this, was he said when star players are like this, you hope for the passing of the torch to bring in. You talk about G.G. Jackson. Like, you bringing in these young guys in and teaching them the culture, teach them how to win, the offense, the minutia, all that kind of stuff, how to be a professional. You hope for that the old heads teach the young heads. He said when you get superstars that act like this, the young guys just learn not to approach him. Like, he is unapproachable by the young guys. And I was like, oh, well, I'm a guy that's got a ton of stock in Cedric Howard. I think he's amazing. Well, we all do at this point. But love Cedric Howard. And I was like, you're telling me that, like, in a Kendrick Perkins lover, heard him, he had a 12, 15-year career in the NBA, and he knows what he's talking about when it comes to locker room stuff. You're telling me that guys like Cedric Howard are likely to not even approach malcontent superstars to the level of Ja Morant right now? That's a problem, and that goes to the culture thing and the thing. And what Carter 901 said, the toxicity brings to the locker room, which the comment right before him is from Kip, and then we'll get on down the list here, that when I say that, oh, we'll just hold you, suspend him. Like, and because it's just like it's a malcontent thing. Like, you've already been suspended once. Listen, that doesn't help his trade value either. It probably tanks it, but
that's the problem.
Listen, all you need two teams to really want Ja Morant to get the price to go through the roof. You just need two. And I don't know. We'll see. Ja Morant's going to be worth the money. He's going to absolutely boost the franchise, in my opinion. The franchise that gets him.
I don't think so.
I think he will in the short term.
You got to prove it to me, man. Like, you've got.
I think he will in the short term, because again, you've got to think of the psychology of this a little bit. And Ja Morant is a guy who is acting like this because he hasn't gotten his way. What's the only thing that he wants right now? What is Ja Morant getting his way? What does it look like right now? It's getting traded. And heaven forbid you trade him to the Miami Heat in Miami, where he just bought a house. Like, you're gonna get happy Ja. We've seen Ja try to make himself happy before, and it hadn't lasted. You're gonna get the Miami Heat, at least for the short term. Think Jimmy Butler, possibly, at least for the short time, is going to get 100% Ja Morant.
Mimant brought up Jimmy Butler earlier. He says, I do recall a player named Jimmy Butler who has done similar things. This feels a lot like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. And you know it's going to sour with Jimmy. You know it's going to sour. Listen, not to go too far into this, but I'm an Ole Miss fan. We all knew the Lane Kiffin thing was going to go bad at some point. This is what this is starting to feel like. It's like, buddy, if you just maybe we suck next year, but at least we won't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
And there's a sense of relief that could come with trading Ja Morant, and that is just I can't get over. Like, I get mad and I say this stuff and I'm like, just get him off my team, let us exhale and move on. And then my next thought is just sadness. Like, how did we get here? Like, this is the first superstar this city has ever seen. And since Penny Hardaway, but Penny Hardaway was a college player back in the late 80s, early 90s. Like, there was no virality to sports at all. It was all local. This is globally superstar, and we got him in Memphis, and he was happy, and he was successful, and we were successful, and we had the guy that everybody wanted for the first time ever. And it's turned out to this because of just petulant, childish behavior. And if I had to give advice to anybody, and this is not sports related, but it's magnified in sports, is get people in your life that are smarter than you and are willing to tell you when you are wrong, and listen. Be accountable, because that's what I believe you have seen in spades out of Ja Morant, is that his best friend and now probably his agent and confidant is his dad and D-Tap, and apparently either neither of them are telling him, like, buddy, you're in the wrong here, or he's just blown them off too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've got to have somebody in your life that just kind of like, buddy, what you're doing here is hurting you. And I know you're not happy now, but because you are not happy, you are hurting yourself. Life is how you handle stuff. Yeah. And if you can't handle stuff like a professional, then you won't be a professional for long.
I mean, all you have to do is just look at the bench and the sideline where T sits in the FedEx Forum after the announcement that the Grizzlies were open to trading Ja Morant. You look over at the bench and you see Ja come out with a hoodie up, tight around his face like Kenny from South Park. And then you look across the way and T's doing the exact same thing.
Listen,
with a hoodie up. He's a 40-year-old man. Like,
listen, I'll be honest with you. Like, I've got kids. I can't imagine a life in which my kids are as successful at one thing as much as Ja Morant is successful with just God-given ability as an athlete to play basketball, see basketball in a unique way that makes him an absolute superstar. It makes him rich, generationally rich. I can't imagine how hard it is as a father to look at your kid and then say, like, hey, you're being an idiot despite, oh, he's got a $50 million contract, he's successful, like, big ego. But, like, you've got to be able, and this is maybe speaking totally out of school here, but if my kid was acting like that, I would like to think that I can step in and have a hard conversation with your kid. Like, this is what parenting is. It's like I'm 34 years old, just had my fifth kid, and there's no doubt in my mind, if I went and drove drunk tonight, got a DUI, got locked up, and had to call my dad, that he would look at me and call me the biggest fool the world has to offer. What are you doing? You're ruining everything. And it just doesn't seem like that conversation is being had, or it's not being listened to.
Yeah. W. Young says, I hope y'all were perfect at 26. The man is still young and making immature decisions like many of us have. Y'all chill, man.
Of course. I was an idiot at 26.
100%.
But you know what? At 26, you're still accountable. Yeah. You're not a child. You're an adult. Like, you're responsible for life decisions. I mean, being 26 and young is not an excuse to me. he is feeling his own. He is sowing his own. He's reaping his own harvest here, and he's laid bad seeds all over the place, and he has become. Somebody said it in the comments. It's like he was going to be the face of the NBA, and he turns into the biggest villain. And that is personal decisions for him, and I don't really care how old you are. Once you get 18, adulthood, like, you're developed enough to make decisions. If you can go to war, if you can start your own business, if you can do this, you can do that, then you can be expected to make good decisions. Like, I'm sorry, like, you could just – he's not – like, if you wanted to say, like, oh, Cooper Flagg, for instance, number 1 pick in the draft, the youngest player to ever be drafted into the NBA, went number 1. If he went drove drunk last night, I keep using that, or gambled or hookers, whatever, nobody would say, oh, he's only 19, give him a break. Like, you're old enough to know better. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I'm out on that.
Yep, I agree. I mean, listen. Nobody's perfect. I don't think anybody's expecting perfection out of him. Do you know how many times the Memphis fans have stand for Ja over the last 3 years, working with, like, protecting Ja, helping Ja, like saying, hey, listen, we support you. You are our guy. But it's when that is absolutely not reciprocated, and then you go on a global stage and do the things that he's been doing the last couple of days, you just go, yo, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
It's not about us. I mean, it is a sport for public consumption, but it's not. I would never ask a player to make a less good decision because the fans love him. Like, you do what's best for you ultimately. I get that. You're totally good with that. But with that being said, like, Memphis does back their own. And you remember back 3 years ago when he had the incidents in which he flashed a gun in a nightclub in Denver, and then he got on IG Live, and then it came with a suspension, a 25-game suspension. And through the first 25 games of that next season, the only people in Ja's court were us. And I'm not saying Ja owes us undying loyalty. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But we've always had his back. It is a character trait. As somebody who's not ever been a Memphian, it is a character trait that I respect so much for fans of Memphis sports team, in particular the Memphis Grizzlies, is the willingness to always be there when you're at your lowest. And it feels like it. Like I said, it's not the end-all be-all, but I think it requires a little bit of, like, hey, I'm going to do the right thing by y'all until they can trade me elsewhere, which is what I want. Like, but you're just totally shutting off the water to the whole city here. Like, there's so many kids and fans, and shoot, I'm an adult. Like, Ja Morant was drafted to the Memphis Grizzlies in 2019. I was 27 years old, so an adult. Again, I'm 27. I'm calling myself an adult, able to be reprimanded for my poor decisions. But I went out and bought basketball jerseys as if I was 8 years old. Just lined my closet with basketball jerseys. When the Jaws came out, I've got 4 or 5 pair of them. We're fans, man, and I'm Mr. Consumer on this show. I always want everything to be easiest and cheap and available for people to watch and participate in sports. That's my shtick here. And you're it's a slap in the face of the people who love you the most. And I do have a real issue with that. And I think this was a good point. Before we're also going to talk briefly about the game that happens now in an hour and 9 minutes. Where did it go? Somebody was talking about there we go. There's been too many incidents with minimal repercussions. This trade is going to diminish his image and future contracts for sure. And I think that there is a slight bit of rock and hard place here for all parties involved. Like, early on, there was a lot of – there is no heat culture here. Like, we talked about Grizz culture and the bench and all that. Everybody plays hard. Everybody plays together, that whole thing. A lot is given to superstars in this league, whether it be flying apart from the team or whether it be whatever leniency Ja wants, Ja gets. And it makes it really, really hard to step on his toes. And when you finally do this year, you suspend him for public comments after the Lakers game and all this kind of stuff. you lose him altogether.
Yeah.
You've got to figure out there's a real science almost on how to keep your superstars engaged. You don't have to worry about John Conchar or Cam Spencer or Javon Small or any of the other guys, Santi Aldama. You don't have to worry about any of those guys getting their feelings hurt if they get in the coach's doghouse.
Right.
Because they know where they're at on the team. But you've got to hopefully something has been learned. If Cedric Coward turns out to be a superstar, if Jaren Jackson Jr. takes another step, and we're talking about first team All NBA, like you hope that you've learned something here on how you can also keep those guys accountable, because the front office was not ever able to, and a lot of times early on, I think it's because they didn't try to keep him accountable.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to keep this conversation moving. We do have some other things we want to get to. We're not even going to take a break. We're just going to keep going until we end the show.
Okay.
And I will say this, Anthony had a point in the comment section that I want us, we're not going to discuss it here because I think it will create more conversation. Let's put the Ja stuff to rest for today. But he said, I used to think Ja had bad friends. Yeah, Ja's probably the bad friend. Let's talk about that at 1 p.m. On the Anthony show.
Just briefly, because only one instance comes to mind for me is the second gun incident. You know, D-Tab got raked through the coals. Like again, like Anthony said, like, oh, we always said his circle sucks, and you know, maybe that's true. But in that second gun video, you remember that where it was D-Tab recording him, John in the passenger seat, and they were all they were listening to music, whatever. I don't remember the context. But then Ja pulls the gun, and D-Tap immediately slams the phone into the armrest there, ends the stream. And I can only imagine at that time, like, that was somebody looking out for Ja. It was somebody, I imagine, the way that he abruptly tried to end that, delete it, whatever, and the damage was done. I imagine that conversation after he did that was like, bro, what are you doing? What was that? Have you not learned anything? And so,
I don't know. All right, they do play in an hour and 5 minutes. Hey, by the way, this show is sponsored and presented by FanDuel Sports Network or FanDuel Sportsbook. All of your bets, you can go and look at FanDuel Sportsbook. Check it out there. They got some great stuff. The Grizzlies do play the Orlando Magic today on Prime at 1 p.m. over in Berlin. Right now, the Magic are 4.5-point favorites. Points over under. Desmond Bain, which, by the way, we need to teach Rusty how to spell Desmond Bain.
yeah.
19.5. Jaren 19.5. Cedric 13.5. Cam 12.5 points over under. Cam 10 plus assists plus 240. That man has been balling out, assisting the ball. Even when his shot's not falling specifically, he has been absolutely dishing the heck out of the ball.
Yeah, he's a good all around basketball player.
Yeah, good. We're
going to talk for way too long about what he can't do, and there are people that are missing what he can do. Listen, if I had $1 million, I would put $1 million on Desmond Bain's over tonight. This afternoon. Like, there's no doubt. Like, we saw what a scoring Desmond Bain could do because he always hated playing Detroit because he, I think, had a promise from Detroit and they didn't take him. Same thing with Boston, Boston is the one who picked Desmond Bain but traded the pick to the Grizzlies, that 30th pick.
Mm-hmm.
Always went nuclear against Boston. Always went nuclear against Dallas because that's his hometown where he played college.
Yep.
Listen, he is going to drop 40 tonight. Like 19.5 is just a silly number. I would never advise anybody to if you're not willing to, I would not twist your arm into making you a sports bettor to take something. I would invite everybody. Like if you've never had an account, if you don't believe in it, just push it down just a little bit and make you a fortune on Desmond Bain over 19.5.
I am super interested to see who guards Desmond Bain. Will it be Cedric Coward?
Yeah, probably.
And how appropriate would that be?
Yeah.
And how interested I am so interested to see what Cedric Coward and the Desmond Bain Cedric Coward matchup tonight, because I feel like Desmond is going to try really, really hard to go off. I hope he dribbles a lot around Cedric Coward. That's all I'll say. Just dribble.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, probably the best person to guard him, if I was just thinking about anybody on the Grizzlies that is on the bench clothed in jerseys or in street clothes, but Scottie Pippen Jr., because he's just always attacking, dribbling. Be really good for Desmond and to take that. I will not feel good if Desmond Bain struggles tonight. This afternoon, rather. Like, I want the Grizzlies to win. I love Desmond Bain. It was a trade in which you couldn't say no to, and it was a casualty to this stupid NBA CBA that they're operating with, the aprons. That's true. That is true, Wayno. If this is the first Cedric 40 burger, yeah, I'm all in. I'll buy the jersey. Do they still do the? Oh, that's one thing we got to think about. Was it NBA.com or was it some credit card company that did the jersey swap? If your player got traded, you could trade in your jersey. Was that like an NBA.com thing? Or
I feel like that was an NBA.com thing. That sounds familiar to me.
If that's still active, buddy, they're going to be sending a lot of jerseys to Memphis, Tennessee, getting Cedric Coward in return.
I love it. I love it. Well, in other news, before we close the show out, the Grizzlies PR team announced, and by the way, I'll reiterate what Anthony talked about on his show a few days ago. Let's not hate the Grizzlies PR Twitter handle. Like they're jersey insurance.
Amex.
There you go. Amex has it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's not hate the Grizzlies. They're just reiterating they're just putting it out there, man. We shoot the messenger all the time.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. What a thought that popped in my head. Content creator.
Yeah.
I have offered anonymity to Grizz PR's admin to come on our show. I would love.
We'll put a silhouette on your face and change your voice and all that.
Wayno can make a caricature picture, and we'll just use that. As
life of a Grizzlies PR admin.
Right. I would do anything to have Grizz PR as a podcast. I've offered it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So
it's just a tough day. Caught between a rock and a hard place. Sane show at 1, and the Grizzlies play at 1.
Is Sane going to do a 1:00 show, or
we are doing a 1:00 show? Okay. We might do it quick. Yeah, we might do it quick, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this.
Listen, I ridicule Rusty a good bit. That's what friends do. I don't have friends that can't make fun of each other and have a good time. What he does with the graphics on these, with the rain cloud and the Band-Aid and the tear, is top-notch comedy. Like, I look forward to seeing what that's going to be every single time we do this.
Yeah, shout out to Rusty. Even when he's not on the show, I just can't. Number one, I can't believe that you're on the show and Rusty's not. Like, who had the baby here just 2 days ago? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, listen, we've got a dollar amount in our heads collectively that if Bluff City Media would pay us, we'd walk away from our jobs. You have not met that yet.
No, we have
I've
not.
still got to feed all these kids. Okay?
You do have to feed the kids. That's true. All right. You jumping out of the show is kill.
It's because I was last minute. I came in way too late. We didn't get the scene set up. That's on me.
All right, Zach Edey update. I sent a text out when they announced that, because we haven't seen him on the road a lot or on the bench during games. And according to Tomas Isolo, he said that Zach Edey's been seeing a lot of outside doctors, which tells me specialist, which is kind of concerning.
I always think Kawhi Leonard when that happens.
Yeah, it's going to be
in San Antonio.
Well, they announced today in their PR, or yesterday in their PR statement, that with the opinion of outside specialists and the Grizzlies training staff, that Zach will now be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. That's just a reevaluation. Are you concerned, or is this a embrace the tank, full on sit down, Zach? We know what you can do. We'll get you completely right for next season once all this dark cloud is away from the Memphis Grizzlies.
I mean, I'm on record for a long time saying I'm concerned about foot injuries in 7'3" dudes.
Yeah, don't back down from that now, right?
No, I would never back down from that. Despite my praise and my heel turn about him being amazing, I always said like that doesn't guarantee health, and that's my biggest fear of him. It was health, and how do you do in a 7-game situation? Do you get played off the court defensively in a pick and roll? Like that was it. That's always been it. He's been amazing. I give him flowers, but yeah, I'm always nervous with a 7'3" dude and having foot injuries. Now, I think that this is better safe than sorry. I think this is do what you've got to do to get right for the long-term thing. There is in no situation, and I've been critical of Ja. You should be playing. You are healthy enough to play. Are you 100% no? Are you healthy enough to play? Then you should play. This is different for me because, one, he's 7'3". Two, he is such a key thing going forward that you've got to get it right. And this is a lost season. I mean, maybe there's a resurrection late and you make a push after the Ja injury and you just find some moxie. But season is not going the way that we thought it was going to go. I'm not saying tank, never tank. But if you're telling me that you can come back at 75 to 80% this year with a chance of re-injury, or you can come back in 6 weeks and be 100%, then be 100%. Like,
I also think there's a part of it too. If you look at all the deep analytic stat lines and lineups for the Memphis Grizzlies that have been successful, there's only one person that's on every one of those, and that's Zach Edey.
Yeah.
Zach Edey
Nobody. I'm not. I am past the days where I'm criticizing the play of Zach Edey.
Yeah.
The only way that I will ever criticize the play of Zach Edey is if he turns out to suck, or that playoff scenario works out that I'm scared of. Yeah. You get a Rudy Gobert kind of situation where DPOY, but he can't play in the playoffs. But no, Zach Edey is unquestionably the most important player on the Memphis Grizzlies right now. Like it just is what it is. You can hate that that's the fact, or you can love that that's the fact and tell Uncle Buck I told you so into oblivion. But it is just the truth right now.
When he played those 10 games, when he came back against Cleveland and played those 10 games, it was very clear this team looked different. They won games. They started to make real push to get back to
They played different.
They played
different. Yeah.
And so there's a part of me that goes, that might be one of the reasons that number one, they want him to get fully healthy. They want him to be 100% going into next season. And they also want to maximize this lost season as best as they possibly can. I won't use the word that you don't want to use, that you cannot support. I won't use that word.
No.
But they don't want to win games that doesn't do anything for them except for hurt their opportunity to pick somebody that can
okay. Let's play that out. Because what you were saying is a soft tank. Let's not bench everybody. Let's play hard. And the only reason why you do that is if you believe like the basketball gods honor and honest effort. Listen, if you're going to soft tank, you might as well freaking tank. Like, I trust numbers more than basketball gods. I know who God is, and he's not caring about the NBA lottery, okay?
He's not helping the Memphis Grizzlies?
When it comes to this, just if you're going to tank, take the fines and tank. I will be livid. I will. If you don't care, I don't care, and see what your viewership does to you, okay? Like, see what your ticket sales do to you if you decide to tank. But if you're just talking about what's most likely to help you get an awesome player, it's just full on tanking. Like the soft tank is stupid. If you want a top 5 pick, you go be the worst team in the league. You don't go be the 10th worst team in the league. That's just math.
You embrace it, right?
But again, let me be fully clear here. I would be miserable. And it would just be the cherry on top of a franchise that's went from grit and grind to soft is if we just decide to tank right now. That we've lost all grit, we've lost all grind, we've lost our identity. It's a team with no identity at all. And you run the risk right now, once you trade Ja and you're in this limbo situation, if you decide to instill a thought in these players' heads that it's okay to lose. This is a culture-defining move. The post-Ja Morant era is an era that is to be determined. You set the culture there. Cedric Coward, Zach Edey, Tomas Isolo, Jaren Jackson, Zach Kleiman. You set the culture again going forward. You have the opportunity to reset. If you start that with tanking, then you are instilling a losing mindset in a bunch of young players that you are counting on going forward, and I will not be happy.
Yep. I don't disagree with you, but I understand it as a front office. I understand building up.
Yeah, again,
going
they're nerds,
athletes, right?
They're nerds. They're Duke grads. They're Wharton School of Business. These guys are nerds that love spreadsheets, that run all these front offices, and there's no doubt in my mind that they look at this and say, "Well, my very simple calculation shows me this isn't finite math here. This isn't linear algebra or calculus. It's very simple. I have the best chance at the number one team or at the number one pick if I have the worst record. That's math."
Yep. I agree. Well, let's hope Zach gets healthy. Let's hope he continues to get that foot. I've heard Brevin talk about this. Brevin actually played with Zydrunas Ilgauskas in Cleveland, and that was kind of the storyline of his career early on, was that he had a lot of foot stuff, and then he got the surgeries that he needed, and had a fantastic back half of his career with zero foot injuries moving forward.
I've seen a lot of the Steph Curry stuff. Have you seen the Steph Curry? Like, for 2 years he had ankle issues, and it resulted in Golden State getting a very reasonable contract for the best player in the NBA, and it allowed them to go 3 deep through their championship dynasty run. And I'm just like, well, I hope, but that's not where my head's at. Yeah.
Well, but Steph Curry weighs about as much as Zach Edey's right leg, so like I'm not really that.
If
those
Steph
are apples
Curry,
and oranges, I think.
If Steph Curry donated his ankle to Zach Edey, it would not match.
It would not match.
Yeah.
It would be a cankle and a giraffe leg.
It would be like holding a foot together with toothpicks and glue. Yeah, no, I mean, that'd be awesome, but no.
Yeah.
I would rather donate his shoulders and right arm to Zach Edey.
Carter says, "Effing nerds."
Yeah. Just all these guys like used to and all these front offices and coaches were all former players, and you got the grit because they played in a bygone era in which you could tackle people and get away with it, and you were tough and whatnot. The NBA and professional sports, all professional sports, have become so analytic driven that the people that are running these teams are just nerds.
They play pickleball. They don't play like
it's like we're not playing basketball. We're playing fantasy basketball.
It does feel like that, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, listen, you've got to instill toughness. No team, you can take your shots at. You could take your shots at Oklahoma City. You can say they're unlikable, say they're unethical. You can do. Those teams are bulldogs, and I would invite anybody to go down the list of NBA champions and find me a team that was soft. You're not going to find it.
Nope. Wayno says, "I want to call out nerds, but I work for a comic shop." Wayno, don't call yourself out like that.
No,
man.
You're a geek. Geeks are lovable.
Yeah, geeks are lovable. Nerds are weird.
Yeah, I'm an engineer. I like math. I'm good at it. I just determined my field into being good at math and science. But I can put that over here in a box and use it for work. and not let it determine how I think we should construct a basketball team.
All right.
So I appreciate you, Kenny, for being with us.
You're the man, dude. I can't believe you're here today, but shout out to you. I'm glad you got to get some of the stuff off your chest. That is I know you've been fiending to be able to talk about this kind of stuff, so I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you were here today.
So I'm glad to be here too. Come back tomorrow, 11 o'clock, on Bluff City Media's YouTube page for the Friday edition of the Two Bucks Sports Show. We will recap the Germany game that's going to happen now in 48 minutes on Prime for anybody who's unsure about it, which I guess that means that Pete and Brevin didn't get to make this awesome trip.
No, Brevin's there. Brevin is there.
Are they calling? They're not calling it though, right?
They're not calling it, but Brevin
he did
is
go.
There.
Okay.
It's an experience, like you said. I mean, bro.
I wish I could go.
Yeah,
I was started to have a kid.
Hey, shout out.
So we'll recap Game 1 against the Magic that's happening this afternoon in Germany, and then we'll preview the weekend coming up tomorrow. So appreciate the chat. Chat's been a lot of fun today, letting me get a lot of this off my chest, get to catch up. I had pent up energy, and I couldn't just look at my new 3-day-old daughter and just be like, you wouldn't believe what I'm seeing online, because she would just like spit up and start crying,
Yeah. She'd be like,
and I'd be like, me too.
Too. Dad's yelling at me. Tell him to leave me alone. Hey, but I will say shout out to you, man. Like introducing her to Wayno in the first couple of days, even if it's just his voice, is a really good father move. Like that's it.
Yeah. Listen, I got major beef with you and Wayno. We have a PG sports show, and I put the show on with my daughter, and Wayno drops a GD, and I'm like,
Wayno,
sorry, baby.
Wayno was in full disappointed.
He's not familiar with the Bible Belt, okay? Wayno, not familiar.
Wayno was in full disappointed dad mode yesterday, so
he should be.
Yeah, he said shock therapy.
Yeah, like
welcome
everything
to the
you
real
heard,
world.
You never say it again.
Yeah, welcome to the real world, Josie.
All right, thank you to everybody. Thank you to the Bluff City Media family. You can't get through chaos like we've been through this season if you don't have a community, and we've got the best community at Bluff City Media. So thank you, everybody. Remember, be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. All that. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to the Two Bucks Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.